Ah, the screams of the children in the night.
Yes!
More applause. Love it. Oh! Hey guys, and welcome to GT Not Live, where today it's time to get scary once again. We are hopping back into our latest analog horror obsession here on the channel. That is the Greylock tapes, analog horror series by a fellow YouTuber here on the internet who formerly covered a bunch of scary stuff and still does, but took those learnings and distilled them down into what we're watching today, which is the Greylock tapes, these mysterious files. Last time, we discovered a lot of interesting details, right? There's some element of religion playing into here. There's some element of time lapse or of reality altering itself potentially, where we're seeing the same location maybe at two separate times or across two separate universes or from two separate perspectives where, hey, there's a bloody branch, but then we flash into past, future, whatever, and it's not bloody anymore. So are you revisiting this? Are we just seeing two halves of the same coin? Unclear right now, but one thing that's definitely coming true is this manifestation of thought forms, right? Tulpas, where these ideas become so real that they actually manifest into reality as either another human or a monster or some crazy entity, right? So that is kind of, if you look on the screen right now, that was what we kind of wrapped up with last time here with tape number 3, with the manifester and all this technology to bring your thoughts and these kind of creatures and ideas in your mind out into the real world where they can then exist and obviously get corrupted in some way and scary things happen, which leads us to where we are today. Tape number 4, Unexpected Visitors, Greylock. So we're continuing our Greylock adventure. Like I said, towards the more recent videos, especially like tapes 10 and 12 up here, getting into some hefty uploads, right? So here we're still kind of in like relatively short, able to be process time. We'll see how deep into this we go, how much of this we consume. But for now, I think probably best case scenario is to just keep continuing forward, right, Ash?
Yeah, just keep continuing. All
right, so let's keep on keeping on, my friends, with some more Greylock horror mystery. But first, I have to thank our sponsor for today's episode, NordVPN. Now, I'm sure you've existed on the internet for a long time, so you've heard about VPNs on every which video to Sunday, right? You know about how they're able to protect your data. You know about how they're able to unlock new abilities to stream in parts of the world that you don't normally get access to because you can change where your internet connection's coming from or where it looks like it's coming from. But I think one thing that people don't talk enough about when it comes to VPNs is that it helps the internet run smoother in a lot of cases. Not only does a VPN not slow down or throttle your internet speed, but it's also able to block malware and ads on sites that, to be honest, like are pretty miserable to deal with. Ever since YouTube/Google got rid of the ability to kind of like use ad blockers in Google Chrome. Have you noticed this? Do you know this one?
Yes.
Right? Where all of a sudden they're like, haha, ad blockers, and if you have an ad blocker, too bad, we're gonna throttle the speeds of every one of the videos that you watch. That sucks. And so for me, I know that impacted my ability to use an ad blocker, right? I'm like, well, it's not worth it because if I'm sitting here waiting for a video to load for like 15 minutes, it's not worth it. So I ended up getting rid of my ad blocker, right? But secret hack, VPN. Bada bing, bada boom. All of a sudden you can block the ads, no problem, but also not have your speeds throttled, which is fantastic. It's like a secret little workaround. That plus all the classic things that I mentioned already, right? You get increased security over your data, so that way people aren't getting access to it. It's allowing you to remain private online. It's also getting you access to all those international versions of like Netflix. Like I know we always bring up like Netflix UK, right? Where we can go frame by frame watching things without, having a subscription in all these different areas because of location blocking, stuff like that. So if you're interested in all that, keeping your internet browsing smoother and safer, keeping your data private, unlocking new regions of the internet that you didn't even think possible, go check out NordVPN using the link nordvpn.com/GTLive. And you know what? If you do that, you're going to get yourself a 2-year plan at a huge discount, plus an additional 4 months for free. Boom. Just like that, just by using our link. That's the That's the theorist benefit for you right there. And hey, you know what? If it doesn't work the way you want it to, if it isn't helping make your internet run smoother and creamier than ever before, that was concerning.
I did not like that.
I did not like that either, but we're keeping it in.
Okay.
If your internet is not creamier than it was before, you can always return it, because NordVPN has a free 30-day money-back guarantee, right? So no fuss, no muss. It's just that money is back in your bank account. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Again, that is nordvpn.com/GT Live for a 2-year plan at a huge discount, plus that additional 4 months. Make your internet super creamy with Nord. Let's go to Greylock. EBS, Emergency Broadcast System, tape number 4, let's go!
Whoop.
Tape number 4, Unexpected Visitors, Greylock. Nothing to see there. All right. Is that a spooky mask on the left? Is that a person's face? Is that a thought form?
It's like if Bendy had a mustache.
It's like, wait, hold up. It's like if Bendy, does that look like Bendy from Bendy and the Ink Machine to you?
Well, look at the face shape. Okay.
Oh, I see the face. I do see the Bendy face shape.
And then
A little like curve, a little devil darling.
And then please note under the nose, you can see a downward curve, and the color of which resembles what might be the hair, but what might be the
Black ink?
The ink of Bendy.
Wow. Who knew that the Greylock tapes were secretly a connected universe with Bendy and the Ink Machine? Stay tuned for special appearances by Joey Drew,
Whoa.
Alice Angel, Audrey, I forget her last name.
Maybe they got locked in this universe
Uh-huh.
in grayscale.
Greylocked.
Locked.
Greylocked. No further research needed. Write that film theory right now.
All right, I'm on it.
I am going downstairs and telling Lee that this is hot off the presses. Make it so, Lee. You thought it was a story about ghosts. Au contraire, mon frère. It's actually a story about Bendy. It's another sequel. So many sequels
Whoa.
to Bendy coming out.
Man, they're collabing with everyone now.
It's
Huh.
true. All right, well, there's Bendy. He goes away. This is thought form. This is like my mom filming with a camcorder back when I was growing up. Just looking at the things that no one cares to look at. Like if you're moving forward and the thing you want to look at is like the house that you're approaching, it's like, let's look at the ground the entire way.
Or she's recording and looking forward, but not with the camera.
Certainly. Oh. It's also one of those things too where I will say credit where credit's due. This filmmaker had at least enough sense to like not be walking heavily with it and bouncing everywhere. Looking at old home videos of me when I was growing up, it was always floor and heavy shakes. And you would hear like kids or my family shouting in the background like, ah, hey, well, missed it all because you're just walking between locations. Oh, okay. Nothing to see there, just gonna move on there. Slowly peeking. Waiting for that emergency broadcast. This is more just peep Tom. Emergency broadcast is, hey, there's a guy who's creeping up, looking in your windows.
Oh boy.
That deserves a public service announcement. Is it? Yeah, someone getting this close to my windows is not okay. This is no bueno. Hard pass.
Bendy, are you in there?
I'm stuck in the ink loop. Please help. Joey Drew? Henry? Please, someone. Nope, just being a creeper. Usual. Or maybe he's not being a creeper. Maybe this is just someone who lost the keys to their house. And now they're trapped outside and they have to climb through a window, as you do. Who hasn't been there?
Real and true.
I've climbed through some very aggressive windows in the past to unlock my house or other people's houses
When you say aggressive
in a respectful way.
Wait, okay. When you say aggressive windows,
Yeah.
my first thought is you're saying, oh, they were pointy
Yeah.
or not easy to grasp onto.
Yeah.
Is this consistent?
That is consistent. That is an accurate representation of what I was envisioning.
Okay.
Yeah, aggressive windows meaning like difficult to enter windows.
Not windows that fight you.
Sometimes, you never know. Grow arms and fight you like the Whomping Willow.
Ooh.
No, the windows that are like in very difficult to reach areas, like on the second floor of a house, and you have to like climb up onto a balcony to get there.
Like parkour.
Yeah, hardcore parkour. Don't love that. I'm hoping this is this individual's house. I'm gonna go in with positive intentions and say this is obviously their house.
This is their house tour.
Yeah. Hey, AD, Architectural Digest, hi, it's me. This is my home, welcome. Here's my bowl of limes. Here's, you know, my very specifically curated living room put together by Restoration Furniture, but I'm gonna pretend like it's just kind of casual, you know, because I'm hashtag relatable. Oh.
I think Bendy was upset.
That was disturbing.
Yeah. I was really trying to make a joke to...
Lighten the mood?
Yeah, to cut the strong sense of unease that I feel.
Yeah. Hashtag relatable there.
Yeah.
Just like the people on AD.
Just like the people on Architectural Digest.
That's exactly right.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, wow. So relatable. No, in all seriousness, though, the idea of, like, home intruders and stuff, super uncomfortable for me. Like, that is a deep-seated fear of mine. So, you know, seeing this tape, not great. not great.
Is that why you asked me to stand outside of your door with a sword that one time?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Protect me.
Yeah.
I appreciated that.
I remember that night. It was dark outside. The lights weren't working, so it was harder to see.
Sometimes it takes a while to get a light bulb up and running, you know?
And you just need some reinforcements until that time.
I got to call out the troops.
Yeah.
Rising up and accepting the challenge, Ash.
Yeah, that's what I do.
And you did. And you did it like a champ.
Thank you.
No, I appreciate it. Well, looks like their work was done. They're complete. They've moved on. I don't really exactly know if there was a lot of context or a lot of detail around this. Maybe the emergency broadcast is going to teach us something. Oh.
I'd like to thank my
new show premiere. The impact that Max Headroom has had on pop culture cannot be overstated. We've talked about him in the past on, was it Film Theory? I think it was Film Theory. But in case you guys don't know, this is Max Headroom, who was very influential back in the day. In the 80s, he had this like whole show. He was one of the like early CGI characters or like computer generated just characters out there. But he was like scripted to be this like over the top guy, and he would like glitch out and this and that, like, you know, a computer talking to you, and it was super weird and wacky because, whoa, computers are talking with us now. And then later in, I think it was the 90s? Early 90s? Forgive me, I don't quite remember the date, but there was the Max Headroom incident where people hacked into a TV station and interrupted the broadcast by dressing as Max Headroom in a situation kind of like this, right? To simulate what the look and feel of the show was. And it was just them kind of like goofing off in front of the camera, being like surprised that they hadn't managed to do it. Max Headroom himself was not like a particularly big hit, but it was a very culturally impactful moment because of what it stood for, and has had a lot of ripple effects in not just pop culture, but in a lot of the stuff that we see here on YouTube. A lot of analog horror kind of riffs off of similar ideas of computers taking over, analog disruption of digital signals and stuff. You saw that with Local 58, things like that. So just in general, very, very interesting to see Max Headroom always showing up in a lot of places. And I was saying like, oh, you know, I could just show you. I could describe what Max Headroom is, but I can also Max Headroom. There you go. There's the hijacking. This is the video of the hijacking which exists, but this is what the show. What?
They have never found the guys, right?
No, the people who hijacked it. No.
Yeah.
I don't believe so. They know where it happened, but they don't know who it was.
Still alive out there? Good. This is a Max
Great.
Are you cracking up?
What?
All this mumbling and muttering, you got a head on your shoulders, use it.
Yeah.
Coming up with a little attachment you plug into your TV, and it warns you that the commercial break is coming by automatically switching off your set for 5 seconds. And here to demonstrate it for us is Mr. Ashimura himself.
Okay, Bob, take it away.
So anyway, you can very clearly see what the aesthetic was, what the style of it was, also probably why it wasn't the most watchable of shows. It's the sort of thing that nowadays I think we would totally understand, and also would probably have a place in something like Adult Swim, right? Where you would expect to see more of this bizarre, experimental form of storytelling, form of visuals. But yeah, back in the 1980s, very, very different, very cutting edge at the time, which is why it's always exciting to see it show up, but also worth calling out since it's such a weird piece of cultural arcana at this point.
You, sir. My writers, my director, my friends, and you, the ordinary people who made me what I am today.
He also has a very strong sound of Jim Carrey. I always thought he sounded like Jim Carrey.
Yeah, it's
like in his delivery.
It's like if Jim Carrey was Elvis inspired.
Yeah, it's like Jim Carrey, Elvis, and Glitch Trap had a baby.
Glitch Trap because of the actual glitching.
Yeah, because it's an actual glitch, yeah.
Yes, okay.
Not because of any sort of bunny-related imagery or things like that, but
right.
Because he is a digital entity.
Yeah, just because of the concept of digital.
Also because at this point, I get like a cut of a check anytime I mention FNAF, so there it is.
Oh, really?
No, absolutely not.
I was about to say,
I am contractually obligated to mention FNAF every time I appear on camera.
Okay.
So well, it's for the brand, you know.
Yeah.
Obviously.
Of course.
Premieres after moonlighting tomorrow.
They did love me.
So I'm wondering if this is giving us a time.
We interrupt our current program at the request of the Massachusetts State Police.
Okay.
This is the emergency broadcast system. This is not a test.
Okay.
All normal broadcasting has
not
been
a test.
discontinued during the emergency.
Okay.
This station will broadcast official information, news, and instruction for Northern
So we're getting a
Berkshire
sense of
County,
timeline,
Massachusetts,
1980s.
after the following tone.
We're also getting a sense of location, Massachusetts here. So okay, this episode is really about giving us the information about the setting.
Massachusetts State Police confirmed the presence of a potential group of active and unidentified home invaders who have targeted 49 residences since approximately 11:15 p.m.
Wow, they are aggressive.
They're strategic. They're
49?
49
that
residences.
That is a new record.
Oh my gosh.
That's aggressive.
That's speed running.
They are speed running those home invasions.
Oh, that's so. I hate that.
Not great.
49 residences since approximately 11:15 p.m. last night. The attacks appear to be random, spanning across the towns of North Adams, Cheshire, Savoy, and Windsor. Residents are urged to take the following actions immediately. Wake all occupants of your home. Lock all doors and windows. Close all curtains and blinds. Gather in a secure area of your home where multiple exits are available to prevent yourself from being cornered. Additionally, residents are urged to arm themselves with a blunt object or firearm if available and licensed. Only resort to self-protection if a suspect has entered your home, poses an active threat to you or your family, and you are unable to escape safely. If you are currently away from home, we are urging you not to return home at this time. Shelter in place where you are. If you are currently not in a secure area or in a vehicle, immediately head to your closest 7-Mart. Each 7-Mart location is currently being used as a safe area, and as police state...
Your local Cinemark? Did they say Cinemark?
I'd need to hear it back. Also, is there no closed captions on this?
Oh.
Auto-generated.
Poses an active threat to you or your family, and you are unable to escape safely. If you are currently away from home, we are urging you not to return home at this time. Shelter in place where you are. If you are currently not in a secure area or in a vehicle, immediately head to your closest 7-Mart. Each 7-Mart location is currently being used as a safe area.
Yeah.
Each Cinemark?
I think it's Cinemark.
Right. Man, brought to you by the good people at Cinemark. Thank you, Cinemark. Appreciate that.
We teamed up with your local movie theater chain to provide you shelter.
Right? In the case of this very of-the-minute emergency, we're teaming up with Cinemark. And guess what? While you're here, you can watch everyone's favorite, Babe, Pig in the City. I don't know why that one in particular, but...
Yeah, that's where it went, man.
Right? But while your home's being invaded, watch the exciting adventures of a small pig learning to make it in the big farm life.
And as part of our Tuesday home invasion special, we have $2 popcorn.
Oh, man. And if you're lucky, if these home invasions continue throughout the day, we'll even show you Babe 2, Pig in the City, where he goes to New York.
That's 2 movies for the price of 1.
Wow. The only cost is that you can't go home because there might be strangers inside of it.
But look at that pig.
Wow. Boy, howdy. Eat some jujubes.
And as police station for your protection. Remain in your secure area until the threat has been resolved. Police are currently unable to determine a physical description of any of the assailants involved in these attacks. It is strongly advised you do not open your home to anyone you do not intimately recognize.
Fair enough.
Do not attempt to search for or engage with any...
I feel like that's just life lessons in general at this point.
Yeah.
You know, it is kind of sad that we've lost the ability to, like, open our doors to strangers, but at the same time, gotta be careful.
Yeah.
To anyone you do not intimately recognize. Do not attempt to search for or engage with any suspects. The suspects are considered armed and extremely dangerous. Do not leave your secure area unless necessary. This is for your safety. Law enforcement will be armed and patrolling your area. Interfering with this investigation could result in lethal force being inadvertently used.
Oh, hello. Nope.
Oh, and it's night.
Get to your secure location. That's not applause. Just telling y'all, Google auto caption. It's not the sound of applause.
Yay!
Wonderful! Excellent home invasion.
Lack of security!
Yes! Ah, the screams of the children in the night.
Yes!
More applause.
They're dying!
Love it. Oh! Ooh, hello. Ooh, hello. Oh, hello. There's a lot of stuff going on in those final seconds there. Ah, you can tell. Great. This person should not have opened up their window to hear the screams of the children. Or do it on the second floor at the very least. Like, if you want to really open up the windows and get a sense of the cool night air and fresh screams, do it on a floor that isn't easily accessible from the ground, my friend. Okay, so we got the hand. Super spooky. It is a humanoid hand. This does not look like text. What do we got? Okay, glitching through a lot of stuff. Another tape. Looks like just static. At first I thought there might have been like a form buried in the static. Like, it looks like there's maybe like a little bit of a chin down at the bottom here. And like a lip maybe. Maybe like the bottom of a nose or something, but maybe an eye. But that also might be just a random coincidence. We linger on this for a little bit. Can I open Photoshop? Is this a classic open Photoshop?
Whoa!
We can open it. We can make it happen. Adjustments. Exposure. Not a whole lot happening there. Let's try image adjustments. Brightness. Something a little less extreme.
Okay, looks fleshy. You know?
Does it?
Yeah.
Looks.
I could see like eyeballs.
I could see eyeballs.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like, if you look at that, yeah, I could see eyeballs.
Very flesh informed.
Very flesh adjacent.
Yeah, perhaps some decay in the center there.
A little bit reptilian. If you look at the shape of the eyes, they kind of have that like vertical squinty nature to them.
Kind of popping out of the head a little bit.
Yeah. Little reptile creature.
Mm-hmm.
Which doesn't really match anything that we've been told in the series yet, but
who's to say?
Who knows?
We only just got here.
I was going to say it's still early days. Okay. So we've got creepy reptilian eyes. Bulging. Orbulous. Ooh.
Oh.
So this is decidedly very different.
I don't know.
No?
Are the eyes like that? It looks like those are in the same place.
They are in the same place. Whoops. So here we go. We got this. We could do. Wait, where are my layers at? There we go. Yep. Definitely in the same place, pretty much. That weird bulb.
Yeah.
Except this time, you've got a face around it with spooky lips. Spooky teeth and lips. What do you got here, friends? Oh, yeah, there it is.
Creepy.
Face only a mother could love.
Ouch.
Are you saying ouch for his sake or ouch because this thing's going to like attack me and kill me?
Oh, no, for his sake.
Oh, well, that's sweet of you to defend the home invaders.
Yeah.
The face of the horrific, monstrous home invader that's probably a thought form.
Hurt people hurt people. And hurt topas hurt people.
Hurt tulpas also hurt people. That is very accurate. So he's being all spooky and creepy and scary. Yes, thank you. Oh, it's getting some fleshy form though. Oh, that is some dead folk. Okay, so here it is interesting how reptilian they kind of keep being in a lot of these. So this is him again, faces in largely the same position, but he's got kind of this, again, I say it's like a reptilian almost snout with kind of like the vertical slanted nose, which is a bit odd. So it's a human-esque form or like a humanoid form, but with almost like a lizard vibe attached to him in some way. Very interesting. And now we get to the dead bodies. It is a shame. This person's head, skull, was the old choppy chop.
Is this the bite of 87?
Is this the bite of 87?
Whoa.
What? That frontal lobe is gone.
It is.
Clean off. Frontal lobe, pew, way far away. Oh, and he's like slurping it up right there. That's him living his life. He's like, delicious frontal lobe.
Yeah, it looks like he's reacting to the taste a little bit like, ooh, it's a little sour.
Right?
It's got a kick to it.
He likes it. Oh. He likes it. Hey, Tulpa.
He likes it.
Oh, look at how happy he is. He's
Yay.
like, you're not you when you're hungry. Try cranium.
Brain.
There you are, but really, that's what's going on here. He's smiling for the camera. What a poser. What a ham. So we got no signal, so the signal gets cut off. Got some blur going on. Oh, still happy. Still enjoying it. He has a lot of forms, it seems like. He's got this weird, fleshy reptilian skin form. He's got the skull, meaty form. He's got like bulbous head form. There you go. So, that's your emergency broadcast, ladies and gentlemen. Pay attention to that one.
Awesome.
I gotta say, if there was an emergency broadcast just being circulated around in public television, being like, hey, don't go home, that would be so scary.
Yeah, I'd probably cry.
Oh, certainly.
Scream.
Yes.
Throw up.
Ooh, throw up.
Oh, vomit? For sure, dude.
All about the vom?
I'm not all about the vom.
Yeah, just occasionally.
But sometimes it just happens.
So
it's all about me.
Sometimes it bubbles up.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just pops. The casual vom.
Yeah. You know those special 3 dots.
I don't. What are the special 3 dots?
Oh, I'm referencing you right now.
My 3 dots?
Yeah. You know when y'all did Doki Doki and there was the 3 dots and you went...
Oh, the ellipses.
Yeah. I just thought it was funnier to say the special 3 dots.
The special 3 dots. There was a couple lines of thought that I had to get there. I got there.
Yeah.
Yep, the special 3 dots.
Yep.
I'm like, Ash, is that like a female issue that I should be aware of? I don't know. The special 3 dots. Who knows? There's all sorts of euphemistic lingo that come about when individuals have special needs. Just saying.
He caught us. You know? I didn't expect him to figure it out that fast, but he got us.
I saw right through your plan. You're like, oh yeah, the Doki Doki Literature Club thing. Sure.
If you know, you know. You know what I mean? We should not explain to him in any more detail what this is.
Please explain to me what the special 3 dots are. Especially when things are identified as special.
Right.
You know, that's a very euphemistic for, it's the special time. It's that special feeling.
Yeah.
It's that special whatever. Like,
but part of what makes it special is that you don't know about it.
That's, you know, I am all about the pursuit of knowledge, but even I recognize that there are some pursuits that you just have, that are not for you.
Right.
And that you are safer and probably happier leaving off in the distance for the people who are supposed to know that knowledge.
Exactly. Like, y'all already went through enough when you found out that we shed our skin every month. And so, moving forward, we should probably just start keeping things to ourselves,
Pursuit of knowledge is definitely one thing, and knowledge is a wonderful thing. Wisdom is knowing when some knowledge is not meant for you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm entering into, the age of wisdom.
Yeah, but let's definitely talk about our special 3 dots in the chat.
Please tell me all about your special 3 dots in the chat. in a safe, parasocially appropriate way, please.
Yeah, be vague. That way, if we know, the people who know about it know. And no one else.
I tremble for the comment section on this video. I tremble. And not because of the analog horror that's happening on screen. The scariest thing about this episode is the conversation happening right now. Special 3 dots. Moving on to tape number 5. See, I agree with tape number 5. Not here, not now, not anymore.
But look how many dots are in that title, Matt.
3 dots. Not okay. How dare you? 3 dots. Let's begin. This is a short boy. It's only 3 minutes. Here, let's see what the description says. Did you know what they did up there? These are the consequences. We are up here. And we talked about special 3 dots today. That's what we did up here.
Yep.
And these are the consequences. Clearly.
All right.
All right, let's see it.
Well, hello again, Tiffany.
Oh.
Hold up. Here, let's try this again.
Well, hello again, Tiffany.
Oh, hi, Wanda. Nice to see you.
Nice to see you, too. No dad this time?
No, unfortunately, he couldn't get off work today. So I'm going to have to call him on a payphone to let him know all the details as soon as we're done.
I'm going to have to call him on a payphone. I like the casual lore drop there. People definitely talk that way. Oh, I'm going to have to talk to him. I'm going to have to call him up on the payphone. Drop in my 25-cent quarter in order to dial him up on the payphone.
Just narrate every proper noun you encounter.
As someone who definitely grew up in a time before cell phones were everywhere and payphones were useful and existed, no one ever referred to I have to call him up on the old payphone, Go dial him up.
He's excited to be a dad, huh?
Oh, yes, he certainly is. We both
he is.
Aw, and you said you've been together since high school, right?
Yep.
That's so sweet. And have you decided on a name for your baby boy yet?
Yep. We're going with Max.
Ooh, Max.
Max, huh? That's a nice, strong name.
Has a nice, strong name.
Max.
Maximilian? Are you going full Maximilian or just Max?
Or Max Headroom.
Oh, Max. First name Max. Last name Headroom. Could be, right? Maybe that's why. She gives birth to a digital entity that is Max Headroom.
Lore.
Could be deep lore.
We got it. That's why he was referenced.
The deep lore of Max Headroom.
Foreshadow.
He's also Lord of the Lizard People who's going around invading homes.
Wanted it so bad. He says it'll help make him strong right off the bat.
That's a pretty good way of thinking about it. So let's see how strong little Max is so you can hurry up and make that call.
Let's see how strong little Bax is. Name's Max. Often confused with Bax.
Max Bax.
Max Bax. Headroom.
Please. He's been moving around like crazy the past couple weeks. So I think he's really strong. Strong enough to kick so hard I almost throw up sometimes too.
3 special dots!
Those 3 special dots!
She's been seeing the dots! She's throwing up!
That's why they titled it that way!
Not here, not now, not
anymore.
3 special dots. Unacceptable. He's kicking around. I'm throwing up. Little does she know that the kicking and the throwing up, completely separate issues.
Yeah.
The kicking is one thing, sure, that's weird and painful and whatever. The throwing up is definitely thanks to the special 3 dots.
Yeah.
Oh, what a wild boy.
Wild boy.
Activity is good.
Yep.
Okay, hopefully this isn't too cold.
No, it's
Okay, so very clearly she's getting an ultrasound to see her little baby. Just the cold is the gel, in case you don't know. I don't know if you would know or if you have a reason to know, because unless you've gone through that or seen it on TV, you wouldn't know. But yeah, they give the old jelly on it and they spread the sonograph machine around it. It's a wild process, very strange. Nope, there he is.
There he is. He's definitely a growing boy, that's for sure. And you're both looking really good.
Well, thanks.
I love hearing that.
That's good to hear.
Let's get some measurements to see exactly how much he's grown.
Why? They're glitching like Max Headroom.
They're glitching just like Max Headroom.
They are doing the glitch like Max Headroom.
He's infecting them like a virus right now.
That's weird, man.
Boom.
I wonder why. Because also it throws into question, like, what is this tape? Is it a VHS tape? Because they've all been VHS tapes, right? You've had the VHS effect on it. So what are we seeing here that it would be glitching like that? That's very unusual. And I don't know if that's an inconsistency in the way that the story is being told, or if that is some sort of like lore detail or clue. Because they are doing a good job of seeding out a lot of these lore details between, like, it's a payphone and it's the 80s and, you know, this is relevant pop culture moments at the time. What's also interesting is, based on the ultrasound here, we should be able to, if we need at some point, if we're ever putting together theory around this, or if we need to solve a part of this as we get deeper into it, we should be able to solve like what trimester this is and kind of how old this baby, how many months they are based on the details that we see, right? A baby develops fingers in certain weeks, it develops the ability to move in certain ways at certain weeks, it starts kicking at certain weeks. So like it gives you a clear timeline if that is something that we need to figure out at some point.
But he's grown.
What was that?
Well, what was that?
I don't know. I've never seen that before.
So the baby just popped away? Disappeared?
Just no clipped.
No clipped out of her stomach. And there's definitely a news article. Where'd that go? Where you at? I swear I didn't click away from you that far. Where is it? Okay, there it was. There was a couple. Oh, spooky, like Michael Myers mask. William Shatner's face staring back at us. Bizarre events leave Berkshire in terror. Authorities mute. Is this the murders? The home invasions? Or is this something else? Is that the only one that we got? It seemed like there were two that flashed up, but I guess it was only the one. Yeah, I guess it's just the one, and it just kind of popped in through the couple frames there. Huh. She looks somewhat, maybe dead. I don't know. It's hard to tell. Heavily sleeping, let's say that. Bizarre events. So it's multiple events, right? It might be the home invasions and something else. And then you got this guy. So we're getting a lot of different kind of monsters and ideas thrown at us. We've got the tulpas thrown out there as they're like these thoughts that have come to life. There's this reference to religious stuff in episode 2 and demons and Satan and letting Satan kind of take over. There's references to these potential like weird humanoid lizard-esque people. You got this stuff now with babies disappearing. There's a lot going on.
What was that?
And they recognize this, like something has shifted in the world.
I've never seen that before. Maybe something to do with the power.
Maybe something to do with the power. Like,
okay.
Chocolate is weird. But this is continuous.
This is a bit strange.
What? What's strange?
Nothing to worry about or anything. Just having some trouble finding the baby all of a sudden.
Huh.
Maybe the machine messed up?
Possibly. But I can still see everything else. It's just not picking up the baby for some reason.
That is so concerning.
Has this ever happened before?
Well, sometimes babies can move into certain positions.
I was gonna say, it's not, they can't go that far, but let's be honest.
But you can't see my baby at all?
I'm looking.
Huh.
Don't worry, he's definitely here.
Yeah. I would press X to doubt. Yeah, that baby's got nowhere to go.
You know what? Why don't we just see if we can borrow another machine, okay? There has to be something wrong with this one. I'll be right back.
Okay.
So this is odd, right? This is kind of continuing the visual theme, or like this world building that we saw a little bit in episode 2, right? In tape number 2, where we were glitching or kind of like hard cutting between two moments in time, or two realities potentially, right? One where the forest and the mountains and whatever are bloody, and we're seeing like the remnants of some, yes, I said remnant. We're seeing the remnants of something that has transpired there, some brutal action, right? Some murder, some injury, whatever. And then we're flashing to that same location when it's clean and nice and there isn't like blood splatter on the ground and whatever. And we were unclear about whether that's two moments in time, two realities, whatever. And here it's interesting because we're having a similar sort of effect where something is glitched or something is broken in reality. Something happens and there's a very clear before and a very clear after where something has changed or disappeared. But here, unlike that episode 2, where it was unclear whether that was a continuous moment, here it's very clearly a continuous sequence of events. So did the baby just like no clip out of reality? That does seem to be the theme. Amazing Digital Circus style. No clipped into a block and just like launched into the out of bounds area. Tiffany Grisaldi, 29, school teacher. It was clear there for a second. It looked like you can kind of see like Dubois or something here. Dubois, Harrison.
March 31st.
Yeah, like you can make out some of this. 1958, 38. She was the something of Harrison. She was the daughter of. So very clear. The fact that her age is there and stuff is telling us that this is an obituary. Ooh, creepy. Yeah, degree. Interesting. So this is obviously, I think, her, having lost her baby and then potentially either ending her life or something else coming about from that. But yeah, that seems to be it. Oh, interesting. So for anyone confused, she basically faced a false pregnancy that manifested as real in the form of a thought form. She wanted a baby so badly that her body and mind essentially created one out of the strong feelings that she had. In the context of the series, it was a thought form. But stuff like this actually happens in reality. People desperate to have kids imagine themselves fooling their body. This is true.
Yeah.
This is one of those. We never had a chance or an excuse to talk about this in the show when I was hosting them and writing them and this and that. But yeah, false pregnancy is absolutely a reality, absolutely a real thing that people deal with. We studied it in my psychology classes actually when I was in college, where yeah, the power of the mind is just incredible, right? Which is the purpose of a lot of this, is the idea that it can manifest its own reality and have severe interactions with your body and how it operates. And so that idea of you are so desperate and so convinced and committed to this idea of like, oh, I am pregnant, I have a baby, all that your body, the hormones activate, right? And the body treats it that way. And you can grow like the pregnancy belly and stuff like that. And you can have the cravings and you can feel all of this stuff as though it is real, even though it's all this thing that the body has just tricked itself into believing. Her thought form baby disappeared once she was put under the scrutiny of its existence and she could no longer live with the grief. Maybe this comment is coming from later, like this is coming with knowledge of what's happening later in the series. I don't necessarily see that. What they're saying is entirely right. Like that idea of thought forms or your brain convincing you and having bodily reactions to cause you to have like this imaginary baby. Yes, 100% real. Yes, that is a fact. I don't necessarily see it for this though, right? Because very clearly there's a moment where the ultrasound is seeing a baby and someone else is seeing that baby and they're all reacting to it, right? I see him there he is, he's a big strong boy, so are you. And then it disappears. because of the scrutiny of the ultrasound machine, I don't see that. So maybe that is something that is coming from later in the series. I guess we'll have to find out. I also am not 100%. Do you know what they did up there? These are the consequences. So I'm wondering if, do you know what they did up there? Is a reference to up on the mountain, right? So episode 2, tape 2, was to the mountain. That's the only reference that we've gotten, like, up in a place or high up in a place. So I'm wondering if the Greylock facilities, right? This lab where they're running tests, presumably on the tulpas and manifesting these tulpas. I'm wondering if that was located up on the mountaintop. And something about those tests and manifesting these tulpas into reality, these thought forms into physical embodiments, is somehow trickling down out into the world. Maybe that's what's going on there. Not sure. Ash, do you have any interpretations?
Honestly, no. I feel like that's the best we've gotten to something that is remotely up.
Yeah, coherent with all this.
I think the thought forms thing in the comment makes sense. I mean, unless that baby just got like digitally transferred.
Sure.
But that feels a little bizarre even in this world.
Right.
So, I mean, I can definitely see that, and tying that into psychology, like you mentioned before, I think makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Tying it into that grief. I just hope that this pops up or is maybe referenced again later in a context that we have a better grasp of.
Yeah.
But
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see roughly where it's going, but it does seem like right now we're not working with enough information, just based on the first 5 pieces of clues that we have here. And again, the home invasion, I'm assuming, are the tulpas on the loose in some way, right? Like these thought forms that have been manifested into monsters, or maybe half-completed tulpas, right? Half-completed thought forms who have broached their containment and are now invading the like local town, maybe in Massachusetts. Not 100% sure. This is kind of a long one. Sleeping Dogs, tape number 6. This is where the thumbnails get real spooky.
Yes.
Are you ready to get real spooky?
So ready.
Okay, let's get real spooky, guys. Here we go. Before we start it off, we've got intro, gameplay.
What?
Outro. Very, very compelling outro. I see right there in the thumbnail.
GT live style.
Right? Where's the witty banter?
Witty banter.
Okay, this is what said. There came a red flash as it pitched from heaven. Corruption wrought truth 0707. Something tells me that these chapter titles are not right. I don't think this is going to be gameplay. Just saying.
Are there any comments about the chapter titles?
Leave it to a guy like Paul to be a drama queen. Like a tall man, a slender man. No, a lot about Paul. And how the actor for Paul is great.
Can't wait to see this man.
I'm excited to see Paul. There came a red flash as it pitched from pit. What is the it? Corruption wrought truth 0707. All right, we'll find out. Here we go. Okay, we got Dr. Bernard T. Hayes, Symposium on Jungian Psychology and the Manifestation of Consciousness. So Jung was, in a lot of ways, the psychological counterpart, or the psychoanalytical counterpart to like Freud back in the day, right? Jung's whole thing was that there are certain archetypes that exist in the brain that kind of coexist together with different traits and representing different types of facets of a person's personality, and they all kind of like live together in the brain. It was rough summary. Sorry, and then we're doing a North American Council on Thought here, and I'm just going to put this because it's very echoey, so I'm going to try to move. I can't move them, apparently. One goal. Countless men withered away and died in pursuit of, leaving their towers of work behind, to be climbed by coming generations. Higher and higher they ascend, so that we were the last fruits of one called God. And there, on his apex of infinite knowledge and power, we will approach and look him in the eye as an equal. Oh, didn't see that one coming. Oh boy. Wow, someone went through puberty in a hurry.
Oh man.
Approach him as an equal. Okay, Cool. Interesting. So again, this looks, so we're bringing back in some of the religious references and religious ideas that we brought in episode 2, right? Tape 2, where it seems like we're playing off of this idea of if we understand the consciousness and if we understand what we are, right? What is the human mind? What are we composed of? Like, what is the essence of thought and existence, right? That'll enable us to understand what the entity of God is, what a higher power actually is, which is an interesting question, and is a tricky one, right? Like, I think if you don't spend a lot of time thinking about the essence of yourself, it kind of, you tend to forget about it. But like, I mentioned this in a previous episode. I know I talked about it a lot because Turtles All the Way Down kind of addresses this, but like that idea of like, what are we really? What is a human being in a lot of ways? Because what we are is a collection of individual cells all working together. Like, we are a communal organism of a bunch of cells, all individual life forms, all individual beings, all working together to make one complete thing that exists as itself, right? Separate from other entities. That's a weird concept, right? And then you take it further and you're like, well, a lot of those, cells, like they're neurons, and those neurons are working together to create the idea of thoughts and of consciousness and of personality. That is, again, a very strange, weird concept to think about, right? And so that dilemma is one of the interesting challenges of all of this and how it all comes together to form us. And it seems like Greylock is really interested in exploring the essence of that debate. And through that, we'll ascend to what is knowledge of God and beyond. So there you have it. Thus ends my TED Talk. Thanks for coming.
Credential requirement bypassed by system administrator. Greetings, no user ID. Welcome to Semiodyne USA's virtual message assistant for user. Project director, Frank Porter. Establishing custom telephone message settings. Sender, Paul Morelli, of the Morelli Construction.
All right, so there's a lot of, Paul, okay, hold on.
Action and Mining Company. Dates of receipt ranging from March 24th, 1987 to March 30th, 1987. Beginning playback of your messages.
Oh, we got a lot of messages from Paul Morelli here. Virtual message, okay, Semiodyne USA. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, interesting. So this is like a government contracted business here that we see going on. So this isn't just a independent research lab who's doing this stuff. It is research that is being funded by the U.S. And the government in some way, which is worth noting. I don't know if that's important in any way, but always interesting to hear what our government's up to, right? What new quirky thing are they researching nowadays, What if your thoughts became reality? That's worthwhile. I'd be curious about that, Fund that research.
Message 1. March 24th, 11:14 a.m.
Hey Frank, it's Paul Morelli. We ran into somewhat of an issue today. We came across these tunnels inside the mountain. Pretty busy, but well, this is gonna sound a little crazy, but he told me to call if anything strange came up, and I figured this qualifies.
Okay.
People have been here before. Some obviously man-made shit in there, like carvings and stone.
Wait, hold up. Carving.
Man-made shit in there, like carvings and stone.
I get what they're going for, but the idea of that man-made stuff in that cave, like carvings and stones, all those man-made stones, man.
They're condensing that sediment in such a way. Those men mixing together sedimentary and igneous rock into a metamorphic form, making all these stones everywhere. Crushing it so hard together that it becomes its own little form.
Right, if there is one thing I am sick of mankind doing, making too many stones.
These men and their rocks.
Right, they just leave them laying around everywhere, too.
Oh my gosh, everywhere you go.
Carving is one thing, but stones?
Ugh.
That's where I draw the line. Unacceptable.
This shit looks ancient.
These are ancient stones, too.
Oh my gosh.
None of these newfangled modern stones. These are ancient stones.
They did this so long ago.
Ancient man-made stones. Mama, where do stones come from mankind? Pressure, heat, mankind.
Us, son. It was us.
These are our stones.
Don't you forget it.
Like
Real old ancient stones.
Since part of the tunnels caved in some time ago, we're gonna just have to bust through it regardless.
Bust through those stones.
I wanted to make you aware of it. Anyways, I'll keep you in the loop. Thanks.
Thank you. Keep me up to date about the latest in the stones.
7:38 a.m.
Oh man, there's gonna be drama that happens here.
It's Paul. Just calling to tell you the day might be a bit slower than usual. Unfortunately, a number of the crew are sick as dogs. Not really sure what kind of stomach bugs going around or what, but we'll do our best to pick up the slack. I'm calling in some guys who have a day off, so hopefully things will get a little closer to normal, you know. That being said, I don't know how the hell this happened, but the section of the tunnel here caved in is clear.
There's I don't know the real world name for this, but I know that there's a thing, right, where like the gases get trapped in these. It's the same thing that happened with them unearthing the Egyptian tombs back in the day, right? There was always the like, oh, there's a curse, right? And the people that opened up the Egyptian tombs back in the day to discover the first ever like mummified like royalty and stuff. It was King Tut's curse or whatever. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but they all got sick and a bunch of them died, right? And it was like, oh, it was the curse. It was the curse. But there's actually something about either the bacteria or the gas that gets trapped in these ancient buildings that when it releases, that's why you die, right? That's why you get sick or why you get injured. I forget exactly what it is. Do you know, Ash?
I'm looking at it right now. I heard of this forever ago.
Right.
Pulling it up on National Geographic site dedicated to it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mention anything related to that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to keep looking because now I'm intrigued.
Yeah, look it up. I'll let this play for a little bit longer. But yeah, I know that there's a real world explanation for this sort of thing. So, well, in the world of this series, we'll see what kind of comes of this exposure. But there is real life explanations for a lot of this stuff. Just like we were talking about earlier with the false pregnancies. Same thing here. There is real life scientific reasons for these sorts of weird anomalies and people getting sick and stuff like that.
Tunnel's been wired up with a few lights too. Wanted to see if maybe you sent someone in while we were all shift.
It was already wired up.
The crew said you didn't, but I didn't see anybody else either. So, but a few of the guys said they'd seen something running around in the woods surrounding the site.
Don't worry, it's just the lizard people that spawned out of their collective thoughts.
We're making out here, but they all insisted it was something else, something like a real tall man.
Was he slender? Was this a slender man?
No, he ain't done nothing.
Environmentalist moron.
For safety's sake, we're going to avoid the tunnel until I get back from you. All right.
That's fair. Yeah.
Message 3.
Someone running around the woods looking for his lost pages. He's a very tall, slender man.
Hey, Frank, it's Paul again.
Hey, Paul.
The guy you sent out to take photos just left, but, he seemed totally fine when he got here, but we practically had to carry him back to his car when he was done. I don't know if he caught whatever's going around, but figured you should know.
Huh.
Also,
Interesting.
We found some really old shit down there, Frank.
Were there more stones?
I don't know historian, but we got a guy on the crew who used to do archaeology work or whatever, and I don't know. But I guess there's some old artifacts down there, like weapons and trinkets and whatever.
And stones. Weapons, trinkets, and stones.
Oh my.
I'll have him draft up a report for you and send it your way, because I feel like you'd be interested, and he can explain all this shit better than I could anyways.
Yeah, clearly.
That's about it.
Arnold Rivers. Okay, mark it down on the lore sheet.
Message 4. March 26th.
Did you learn anything about ancient tombs?
Yeah, I did actually.
Teach me about it.
Pretty cool. So, there were actually a series of deaths that happened after unearthing King Tut's tomb, mummy. There was an infected mosquito bite.
Ooh.
One of their houses burned down. One of these explorers got a fever after leaving.
He's got a fever, and the only cure is more cowbell.
Need more cowbell.
Yeah, he didn't get the cowbell and he died.
Stat. Yeah. But I'm actually looking here at another National Geographic site dedicated to this. It's on the curse of the mummy.
Yeah.
Lab studies have shown that some ancient mummies carried mold, which can cause congestion or bleeding in the lungs. Lung-assaulting bacteria, such as Pseudomonas and
Oh, yeah.
a
Classic.
staph, it looks like,
Uh-huh.
may also grow on tomb walls. These substances may make tombs sound dangerous, but scientists seem to agree that they are not.
Huh. Interesting.
Right?
Well, there you go.
So it actually might not be,
Might not be.
the bacteria in the mold, but an actual curse.
Whoa. It could
Whoa.
be. That's deep.
That's actually really cool. I love that. Not for them,
The fact that
but I love that for me.
I was going to say, man, it's sweet that curses exist and that people are dying left, right, and center.
Wow, love that they all perished. No, not like that. I just think that's so
Ash's
interesting.
thirst for blood cannot be quenched.
I warned y'all at the very beginning. My love of crime and mystery. It just,
Crime and mystery and apparently bloodlust.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We learn new things every day.
Man, glad I feel safe sitting next to you in this room.
You should. Me with that sword outside of your house.
Yeah.
You know, I was
Protecting
ready
me.
to defend you.
I appreciate that.
I have those impulses, those spider impulses.
That's why you're the right one for the job.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Frank, something ain't right here.
All right. What you got, Paul?
More sick. I feel
More sick.
I don't know how long that's gonna last.
Right, he's doing great. You're holding up real well when everyone else is dropping like flies around you.
Thing the guys have been talking about.
Oh, we saw the thing.
Last night, stalking around in the tree line. I swear it had a face. Anyways, just call
I
me
swear
back if you can, Frank.
Dot. Just gonna leave it there. I swear it had a face. I feel like most things that you would use the verb stalking or walking or roaming have faces.
Yeah.
Right? Like, even if it's an animal, if it's deer, lizards have faces. You know.
Lizards have faces. Matpat 2024.
They do.
No,
Fun
you're
fact.
right. You're
Fun-
right.
The more you know. Ba-da-da-da. Lizards have faces. I would be more shocked if you told me it didn't have a face, to be honest.
Yeah. I mean, it implies some ambiguity about what this face was.
No, certainly. Right? It's
Like,
it's
is
like
that-
a pseudo face.
Is that a face or not?
Like a half face.
Yeah.
You've heard of two face. Well, check out half face.
Yeah.
It's not quite there. So we'll see.
Page 5. March 27th, 12:10 p.m.
All our food is rotten, totally spoiled and covered in maggots.
That's a bummer.
Perfectly fine and stored. There wasn't any problems with the generator, even if we lost power.
Right?
It's the end of March.
It's the end of March.
Looks like it's been left out in the heat for weeks. No idea what's going on. Please call me back.
Very hungry.
March 27th, 4:02 p.m.
It's Paul. We saw it again.
Is Paul getting less and less happy in these images? Is this like a spot the difference? Has he always been kind of frowny?
Your timestamp right now is 5:34. If you want to go back and
5:34.
look.
Okay, he's kind of frowny there.
Yeah. Oh, it is. It is changing.
Yeah. Right? Here he's kind of smiley.
That's a chipper man.
That's a happy man. But his picture is just slowly morphing.
Wow.
That's subtle. That's very well done. It's very subtle. It's a little bit of the eyes and a little bit of the curve of the mouth. That's very compelling. Yeah, and here you can really tell. That's funny. Good job. Good job. It's like a little ARG analog horror spot the difference. Who doesn't love a good adult-oriented spot the difference?
Right? Ever since I stopped getting highlights magazines, man.
Right?
What's the difference between these two Pauls? Trauma.
Yeah, right. This Paul had his wife leave him. Spot the difference.
It's Paul.
Sad Paul.
We saw it again.
Did you?
Something out here with us.
Yeah.
It's in the woods. And it's watching us, goddammit. There ain't no animal either. Who are you guys gonna put up those fancy hunting cameras and see if we can catch anything?
Okay.
Maybe locals fucking with us? I don't know. We'll figure it out. But yeah. Anyways, I just...
Oh, hey. Oh, the hunting cameras. Oh, good transition. For military use. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Ooh, hello.
Message 7.
Wait, no, I want to see. Oh, did you miss it? No, it was just a bunch of... There's so many glitches in this one. Well, it wasn't anything. Okay.
Message 7.
Uh-oh, time date
David
error.
King unavailable.
Yikes.
Message.
Ooh, hello. Oh, now we're getting there. It's been a slow burn. 11:59. Uh-oh. Motion detected. Oh, there it goes. Oh, there it is. I got it. It's Bigfoot. We could dedicate 22 seasons of primetime television to hunting this little ghost. Ooh, I saw a big old sensor bar there.
They got polygons in the woods.
Wait, missing number? Missing no? Wait, where'd it go? Where'd the polygon go?
Where are my polygons?
It didn't show that time, Ash.
No.
The polygon itself.
Polly is gone.
That's why they call them polygons.
Message 8.
All right.
Crazy.
March 29th,
Okay.
10:13 p.m.
Oh, he's feeling bad. Hey, Paul.
Holy shit, well, a lot of the crew here is sick now.
Tell me something I don't know. Keep going on about them being sick.
We tried emergency contacts for them, but...
Less complaining about problems and more coming up with solutions. Maybe you should leave.
It just kept ringing and ringing and ringing. Nobody picked up from any number we tried.
Okay.
Nobody picked up. No answer machines either. Made a call to the hospital and same thing. Just ringing. Just tried 911, still nothing.
That's interesting. So either they've been this part of the woods, because they've unearthed whatever this under earth cavern that they've discovered has either sectioned them off into some sort of like weird electromagnetic bubble where they can't reach the outside world, or what may be more of the case here, since again we're talking about like thoughts becoming reality or thoughts being manipulated in some way. This could be, he thinks that they're calling 911. He thinks that they're calling all these places. Maybe the phones aren't ringing, but maybe this is all part of a collective hallucination or some sort of like, group disbelief in what's actually going on here.
Yeah, that is interesting. I'm listening to these messages and I feel, Paul, I sympathize with like wanting to help people get better and like what's happening here. I swear I see this creature. Our food is like, it looks all wrong. Get out of there, bro.
Right.
I feel like at one point you just have to cut your losses and dip.
Yeah.
Like,
or understand that the best way you're going to help them is by leaving and actually getting help.
Yeah.
Like because you're totally right. Like I understand the want to like be an assistant and support them and this and that, but also you're dialing up a bunch of, you're clearly calling up a bunch of messages here. No one's really responding to you. Feels like maybe you should go and actually physically get help.
If 911 is not picking up your call, you have to take some kind of action.
What's interesting to call out though is, so he's saying, I'm calling all these places, no one's picking up. This, and no answering machines, no nothing. This picked up.
Yes.
This service picked up, which I think indicates something. It is important because it distinguishes from the other calls that he's making. This call is real. So regardless of whether the other stuff is in his hallucination or is made up or not, and I think that's yet to be determined, this call is real, which almost seems to suggest that it isn't a hallucination or that he is actually making these calls and they aren't responding for some way.
I figured the phones were fucked up, but the machine actually picked up.
Yeah, right? Your machine actually picked up, so it implies that he is making real calls. Paul, my man. My good bro.
I think I caught whatever's going around.
Yeah, I would.
It feels tight. A lot of pressure behind my eyes. My teeth feel like they're humming.
Ooh, humming teeth. Yikes.
You know what? This all started when we came across that tunnel.
Yeah, with the stones.
I feel like I need to figure out what's down there. I think whatever's down there could help my crew. Most of all, I feel like something really bad's gonna happen if I don't go down, so I'll be going down tonight.
You're not altogether wrong. Like that, I respect that. It's like, hey, I'm sick. I've got this thing. Everyone else is afflicted. if I'm going down, I might as well try to get to the bottom of the mystery. Like if I can't get much worse, and and other people are unresponsive and this and that, I might as well go down into the breach, try to solve it. Your skin is tight and your eyes are bulging. Ooh.
Yikes.
Right. People in Los Angeles will pay good money for that. So that's a plastic surgeon's dream right there. So you just consider yourself lucky. You just saved like $10,000. Ooh, getting a little feral there, Paul. Getting a little feral. You can see Paul bounding across the woods here. Nope, there's. Ooh. Oh, his little jello form. It's like that clear burger that Santi made, just oozing off the camera.
Don't remind me.
Yeah, some bad memories about tasting that one, Ash?
Yeah.
Fair.
There's so many textures.
Message 9. March 30th, time unavailable.
Oh, man. This is not applause. Again, Google auto-captioning of applause does not understand the sound of applause at all. Ooh. Hello. Paul! Hey, Paul. How are you going?
Holy boy.
Paul called again. But he just... What?
This is the end of your messages.
Oh.
Sorry, buddy.
Oh. Oh my. Little Easter egg in there. So things didn't end super well for Paul. Not great for poor Paul. What happened to Paul? The sickness just consumed him. It doesn't look like he was... It's interesting. It's a little bit like smile tapes, it feels like.
Yeah.
Where an illness, and when you brought up mold living off of like tomb walls and stuff, I'm like, wait a minute, are we talking about mold and fungi again? Is this smile tapes, which was also just Last of Us all over again? Like, we're all concerned about fungus. When I was in France the other week, I went to a mushroom museum. It was awesome. I should tell you about it at some point.
Please do.
It was delightful. I bought a little mushroom friend, actually. A little mushroom friend.
You bought a mushroom friend?
I bought a mushroom friend, yes. But I went to a mushroom museum in a cave. It was great. But man, the amount of spores that were floating around there that are probably now floating around my lungs, after years of reacting and commenting on this stuff, I'm like, oh boy, I'm definitely infected with whatever weird cordyceps fungus is growing around in me. But so I see this and I'm not like, it doesn't seem like he was attacked by any of these other entities. It doesn't seem like he was attacked by the tulpas in any way. It feels like this is just him turning sick off of whatever came out of that tunnel. And so one of the questions I have, and a lot of this is, how are all these things marrying together? We got the again, and I started this upload in a similar sort of state, right? Where we've got home invaders, we've got tulpas, we've got this religious imagery, and we've got this like mysterious tunnel. And none of the ideas or none of the routes really congeal until like the dots aren't connecting. They feel like 4 or 5 separate threads, and I'm curious what's going to bring them all together. So anyway, there's our bud, Paul. Not doing great. But then we have this part at the end. That's why you always gotta watch Analog Horror through to the end, because you always get the little bonus scene. So this is back on the hunting camera. And we're getting the masked person again. Or the mask, right? We've seen this mask in other uploads. And so, is this like a physicalized version of one of these like tulpa creatures? Like the ghost and mysterious entity? Did they break through the rock and that's what released these tulpas out into the world? one of the things that might be helpful is us getting a better sense of the timeline, because these are uploaded out of time, right? I'm not 100% sure what the order of events is in this series, but I'm wondering if this was Sleeping Dogs, like if this was the starter event in the series that, or at least the starting event that like released the badness out into the world, right? Like, you know, the system is shut down, the lab is shut down, they stop doing tests on these tulpas, they're trapped in their containment cage, but then these guys go down, break through, and suddenly release these tulpas out into the world, and that's what starts spreading the illnesses and sicknesses, and that's, you know, what starts attacking people in their homes. I could see that maybe being the case, not 100% sure. So anyway, I am still intrigued, very much so, and it is, I like that this is not afraid to have a slow burn to it and a slow build, where they're really taking their time to set up these moments, and then you have these really interesting, cool payoffs, which is what you need for something analog horror like this. Very curious about tape number 7, Back to Normal, and how the story kind of progresses from there and what answers we start getting, because the uploads start to seem to get longer and more robust from here on out. So tune in next time, where we'll do at least one more of these as we continue to unlock what Greylock means and what the point of all of this is and how it hopefully all comes together. But still, very cool, very intriguing, good mystery, good world building, and now I'm just excited to see what happens next. Be careful, don't breathe in any mysterious mushrooms, my friends. And as always, remember, it wasn't a live stream, but it was a video for you. See ya! Thanks again to NordVPN for sponsoring today's video. Remember, make sure you use the link nordvpn.com/GTLive for a huge discount, plus 4 extra months on a 2-year plan.